So let's start. I think the recorded session. The watch whoever is not here will watch it. So this is Euro USDI, and we are going to start from the daily because we are looking to or we want to analyze for what the whole direction will be next week. So this is the daily time frame. And always when you come on the chart, it is always the same thing. We just repeat the same process. We repeat the same process so that we repeat the same process because we like to keep it simple. All right. So when you come on the chart, you look at the last two swing points, the current impulse, and then the last two swing points after the impulse. Now we had this impulse to the upside initially. This push was an impulse, but after that we had this kind of movement. This is supposed to be a running channel that is supposed to give us a full reversal because this is an impulse running to the upside. Is also this particular move to the upside is also a running channel. But instead of giving us an impulse after it, a reversal impulse after it, it started giving us a confirmed corrective move. So this is an impulse. And then after an impulse, we were to anticipate what? Correction. But it didn't really correct. It gave us an impulsive correction. Those of you that have been hearing impulsive correction, this was new. Those of you that are new. So when you have an impulse, instead of giving you a full correction, it gives you something funny before giving you another correction. It is called an impulsive correction. And we know that the last thing is what the market respects. So this impulsive correction is what the market is going to respect, right? So this is our impulse for this move, and then currently we are in the corrective phase. So this is the first swing point, and then this is another swing point. Currently, we are trying to create another one. So from what we have here, our highest point is going to be here because this is the highest point of the structure we are looking at. This impulse and then this correction. So this is the highest point of the structure, and then the lowest point of what we are looking at is right here. This is the lowest point of the structure we are looking at. So the next thing to do is for us to start combining or connecting the swing points with our trend line so that it can really form patterns for us to see. So from here, we can connect 1, 2. That's why we fall in. Now, this level.
Huh?
If you are going to converse with people around you, make sure you mute your mic, right? So this is this was the previous touch, and then now we are anticipating the market to come and interact with this. We're anticipating market to come and interact with this. So this is all we can see on the daily time frame. We had this trend line rejection here, which sponsored the sell, and within it you can see we have a structure within that actually gave us the confirmation. So the next thing to do now is for us to go to the 4-hour. When we go to the 4-hour, we will know exactly where this swing point is going to stop, and then like the lower we go, the more we get to understand further what the market is actually trying to do, so that we know where exactly we are going to stop, so that we know exactly this swing point is going to stop for us to connect our second trend line. So let's go to the 4-hour to see what the price is doing. So from the daily, you can see that we have a sell bias on Euro USD. We should be looking to sell Euro USD from the daily. That's what the daily is saying. But like I said in a video I posted not quite long on the YouTube, whatever you trade, whatever the price gives you is what you trade. You are trading price action. So if you go to a time frame that is looking like you should buy, you should buy. If you go to a time frame that is looking like you should sell, don't hesitate to sell. So now, this is the whole structure we had on the daily. The whole of these things is what we have on daily. So whenever you come on any time frame, focus on the last impulse and then the last swing point. The same thing we did on the daily is what you keep repeating. Any time frame you go to, focus on the current things that are happening. So we will abandon all of these things here and focus on this particular place because this is the current structure of the market on the 4-hour. So now, from what the price is telling us still on the 4-hour is that we are supposed to be selling, right? We should be shorting. So price can give us, let's say, a little bit of flag and drop. It can go back to pull, mitigate something and drop. We don't know exactly what will happen until we keep going further. The lesser we go or the lower we go on the time frames, the more we see what structure is going to tell us. So from the 4-hour, we are looking to short. So this 4-hour gives us a confluence of what the daily have said. The daily said we should short to interact with the swing point that is we highlighted with this ray point, right? That's what the daily have said because it swept the previous swing. And now the 4-hour is also telling us that we just rejected is a resistive second touch here. So we should be looking at the price to come play around to the supportive third touch. The supportive third touch to help us interact with this previous swing point. The previous swing point that we are anticipating the market to come to. So let's go to the 1-hour and then we keep focusing inside of the current thing we have. It is the current phase of the market that plays out. So this is what we have on the 1-hour. on the 1 hour, we just have a bullish run to the downside. We had a bullish run to the downside. I think if we want to put up anything, we just have to put up 1, 2, and 1, 2, but that is not for us. I'm sure you guys know why they put. So this is USD card, right? And then we have to look at what the last impulse and the last correction. Now, if I zoom out like this, yes, we see a lot of things that might be confusing. The whole of this thing is looking like the correction, this type of whatever they call it, pennant. The pennant is going to create an angle. We have this one there, a bit symmetric triangle. We have it there. And then if we look further into the structure again, we still have this one, this last impulse, and then this particular correction. For me, this is the one I'm going to focus on because I always feel it is the current one that have highest probability of playing out. So the lowest point, this is the impulse, and then we can see these are the swing points created. So the lowest point of the swing point is here, and then the highest point is here. So this is my highest high and my lowest low. We just interacted with the previous high, so we are anticipating to come to interact with the low, right? So connecting the trend line, we have 1 and 2. And then we have 1 and 2 USD card. So for what we have right now, daily is looking to interact with this. And those impulse correction, we know that we're supposed to go short further for the second impulse. So for so this is the 4-hour. Because of the news impact, you can see we don't really have a thing to do on the chart because it's just a run down and it's trying to correct before the market close. So we could have this 1, 2, giving us more confidence that we can draw because we should be looking to come to 90%. So USD card should be looking to sell. So that's it. We're looking to short. This is the directional bias on USD card. I think even if I go down, it's not really going to be a lot of information because it was a news impact and it was a very big run. So USD card, we are looking to sell. Please take note. All right. So this is GBP USD. Okay. Our last analysis was good. So GBP USD on the daily time frame. So you can focus on the whole of this structure or you can focus on the current one. I like to focus on the current one, but anything works or anywhere you want to focus on concerns you. The more you, okay, let's have this 1, 2, and then this is where it's going to come from, not here. Why? Because I explained impulsive correction before. This is an impulse, this is an impulse, and then this is where the swing point started to fade out. So this is an impulse, this is an impulsive correction, and then this is the move. So instead of counting impulse and correction, we are counting impulse to the downside, we're counting correction. So the selling is more significant because the last impulsive correction or the impulsive correction happened to the downside. So after correction, we should be looking to sell further. Okay. So this is what we have on the daily. Clearly, we can see on the daily we are supposed to be selling. Sorry, this is BTC USDT. This is for the guy that trades crypto. After that, we look at synthetic people. So BTC, it's still the same thing. It's just like, bro, trading became easy, man. You just have to keep repeating the same thing, and then matching our psychology to it. That's it. So lowest point there, why? Because we have this impulse and then we're having this running to the downside. Then the highest point is where this for the daily. So we have this 1, 2. So we can see BTC is in a downtrend. Our trend line is trending downwards, so we're in a downtrend. And then we go to the 4 hours to see what's up. This is the second touch of the supportive trend line, sorry, resistive trend line. So more sales should be what should happen on BTC. So after rejection, we have the tie flag drop. Now we are having a bigger version of the first flag. So like this. And then the market is currently here, so I cannot put the trend line. Please don't forget that rule, right? If the market is there, the highest thing you can do, you can anticipate it with the rate. Don't put the trend line there. Do not put a trend line where the market is, because if I do right now, the market is going to tell me to sell it because this is a trend line. Rejecting trend line, I have to sell. But if it's not with enough confidence, it's going to give you trouble. And the way it is rejecting right now is like also equal liquidity at equals, having double top. So it is not ideal for you to put a trend line at the current market. Okay, so let it play out before you bring the trend line there. So if I had, this is what I have on BTC. If it's going to be, if it works out to be a good, expanding version of the first flag, then cool, you can short BTC and then look out to get a third touch of the daily structure we had. So that is it for BTC. That is it for currency pairs. If you have a question, please analyze your own chart and then leave it in the Discord for us to talk about it.